Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2000 BMW 528i. Up front is a 2.8 liter inline 6 and down below is a 4-speed automatic gearbox. So if you guys haven't seen my reviews before, what I do is I talk about the engine and transmission, then I talk about the interior, then I give my general thoughts about the car. So let's get started with that inline 6. Well, that's what BMWs are known for. BMWs are known for having the straight 6s. And this one, being the 2.8 liter, is the M52. It's kind of weird how they name their engines, but that's just how BMW does things. So the straight 6 offers a lot of torque. That's why I love BMW straight 6s, is that they have a bunch of torque and they're really fun down low in the gears. Paired to it is an automatic transmission, which of course, at first glance you think, oh, automatics, not that great. But I have a little story about that. So in my town, there's a cafe that we always go to, my friends and I. It's right by our high school, and we'd go there pretty much every Sunday night to get, you know, burgers, chicken, ice cream, that sort of thing. But on the menu, they had shrimp tacos, which is super weird. And we tried it out one night, and it wasn't bad. You wouldn't expect a burger place to have shrimp tacos, but they did, and they weren't bad. And that's how I feel about this transmission. You wouldn't really expect a BMW to have an automatic, but this one does, and it's not bad. So let's talk about the interior. In front of me, I have the white gauges that I've come to love. BMW does a great job with their gauges, and these actually look like E36 gauges. Very simple, very plain, and I really like the look of them. I know what I'm looking at first glance, and that's a really nice thing to have. On the steering wheel, I get some volume controls, cruise control options, stuff like that. Pretty basic stuff for the 2000s, but it's nice that it's there. This car also has a telescoping steering wheel, which I can control on the left here, which I now have to drive, but as you can see, it's moving. To the left of me, I get the window switches, which look like the same ones out of the E36. In the center are two huge air vents, which is awesome, especially because today it's 12 degrees outside. You definitely need that heat flowing. This car has an aftermarket radio, but the radio is right below the vents. Then you get your climate control options down at the bottom, which are in the BMW orange. It has like a little orange LCD screen like every other BMW, and I don't know why, I've grown to really like that. And then of course you get your shifter or prindle or whatever you want to call it down in the center. Surrounding the shifter is this sort of fake wood stuff, which looks really nice, but it's starting to wrinkle a little bit given its age. I mean, it's 18 years old, so you can't really blame BMW, but that is something to look out for if you are going to buy a 2000 wagon. It's something to look out for. And of course, I have to mention it, it's got a sunroof. I love sunroofs. BMW does a great job with their sunroofs. It still works 18 years later, which is awesome. And another little thing, speaking of the sunroof, is with the key fob, if you hold down the unlock button, all of the windows will roll down. So if you're walking up to your car on a hot summer day, especially with the black interior, you hit that unlock button and you hold it down, all the windows and the sunroof opens to kind of help ventilate it, which is a really cool feature. It has fully power seats, which you can adjust a multitude of different ways, which is really nice. It's always a nice feature in cars to have fully functional power seats. So you also get, with the seats, you get memory seats for the driver and power seats for the passenger, which is actually kind of advanced for 2000. But then again, this is the 5 Series. This isn't no 3 Series. This was the next tier up. And then you can't talk about the interior without talking about the fact that it's a wagon. You have so much space, not only in the back seat, but you get a giant rear compartment. That's what the wagon's for. So this is called the E39. So a lot of people, oh, there's another one. Hey, another E39, buddy. So a lot of people know the 3 Series, the E30, E36, E46, that sort of thing. Well, this has the chassis code of E39. Because it's the 5 Series, it's that next step up. So I was really excited to do this review because I've never driven a BMW wagon before. And if you guys have seen my videos before, I love wagons. I'm not really sure why. I don't know if there's something wrong in my brain or something's miswired, but I love wagons. I love the way they look. If you're not in the US, shooting brake, or a state car for those of you in the UK or abroad, I love the way they look. And this car looks amazing, especially because it's been lowered. It doesn't have the obnoxious wheel gap and that sort of thing. It's a good looking car, and I was super excited to actually be able to drive one of those. Now, I don't really believe in the whole cinematics thing. I think people way overdo cinematics in car reviews, so I'm not going to do that. But just take a look at this car because it really looks good. And it's a shame that BMW doesn't make wagons anymore, or at least current day and age of 2018, they don't make wagons anymore. I would love to see an M3 wagon again, because that would just be so cool. But going back to that automatic transmission, it's not the sharpest thing in the world, but I've definitely driven worse. Definitely driven worse. And you still feel the torque from that 2.8 liter straight six. It's not a whole lot gets lost in translation, which is really nice. It's really important to me is that I still feel like it's a BMW, and it feels like a BMW. The other thing that's really nice about this car is that it's not a 3 Series, it's a 5 Series. So it's a lot more comfortable, it's more spacious. Obviously it has that longer wheelbase. There's a lot more luxury in the 5 Series than the 3 Series. And I've driven a lot of 3 Series. I've driven the E30, E36, E46, and a couple in between, and I have to say this is a lot more comfortable. The other thing I really like about BMWs, and I'm sure I've mentioned this in videos before, is that they give you this feeling of almost like a being higher class. I mean, I know it sounds rude, but you kind of feel better than the cars around you. You're a lot more comfortable, you have more power, and no, this thing won't, blow the doors off a Lambo, but it's definitely quicker than even a modern day Kia Rio or Chevy Cruze or something like that. And this is 18 years older than them. I actually really like this car better than the automatic E36, because if you guys have seen my video review, I did an automatic convertible E36, and it was good, but this being the only other automatic BMW I've driven, I definitely like the 5 Series better. And again, you can't go wrong with a wagon. You just can't. They're so useful. You can fit anything in a wagon. You could live in the wagon if you really want to.
Zach and Tuning Cars do not recommend using a 2000 BMW 528i as a residence. Although it is roomy AF, you should not consider an 18-year-old car as your home. If you do find yourself using a 2000 BMW 528i as a place of residency, then thank you for watching this video. You clearly have your priorities in check. You should try to get a house after you smash that like button and destroy the subscribe button's will to live.
So, after, I think this is my 8th BMW review here on the channel, I still stick with my saying of that a BMW has never disappointed me. I've never disliked a BMW so much that I hated it. I've always loved BMWs, and every single BMW I drive, I love more and more, and I find myself wanting one, and I definitely would want a 5 Series wagon. They're just so cool, they're so comfortable, they're so practical. Yes, I would want it in a stick shift, but I'm really not hating this automatic. I'm really not. It's not the worst thing in the world. I could definitely live with it, especially as a daily. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something about the 2000 BMW 528i, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys. There goes a sight from my soul.